Welcome to Worth Coin. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, and still leave enough wealth to change generations of a family forever. Hidden among millions of ordinary nickels is a coin that has become the subject of intense collector fascination, the 1989 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary, the kind of coin you might overlook in a handful of change. But some collectors believe that certain rare examples possess characteristics so unusual that their value has reached astonishing levels. One extraordinary specimen has been associated with a staggering value of up to $89 million, making it one of the most talked about modern nickels in coin collecting circles. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the very end, because later in this series we'll uncover two more mysterious nickels from different years that have collectors searching through old jars, drawers, and forgotten coin collections with renewed excitement. The story of the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel begins at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions upon millions of 5-cent coins were struck for circulation across the United States. Most of those coins entered cash registers, piggy banks, and vending machines without attracting any attention whatsoever. Yet history has repeatedly shown that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins become the most extraordinary treasures. During the late 1980s, coin production was operating at a tremendous pace, and whenever massive numbers of coins are struck, the possibility of unusual errors, die varieties, and production anomalies increases dramatically. Collectors know that hidden among those countless ordinary nickels could be a few remarkable examples that escaped the mint carrying features no one expected. Imagine a mint worker finishing a long shift while giant presses thunder through thousands of coin blanks every hour. Tiny imperfections can develop on dies. Slight misalignments can occur. Microscopic details can change from one strike to another. Most of these variations are insignificant, but every so often something emerges that captures the attention of the collecting world. The 1989 P nickel has become associated with several fascinating possibilities that keep treasure hunters searching. Some collectors examine these coins looking for strong double details in the lettering. Others search for unusual die cracks, off-center strikes, or dramatic strike characteristics that make one coin stand apart from millions of others. The excitement comes from the possibility that an overlooked coin could be hiding in plain sight. Think about how many nickels pass through people's hands every day. Most are spent without a second thought. Most are tossed into jars and forgotten. Yet somewhere, perhaps in a dresser drawer or an old coin collection inherited from a relative, a remarkable 1989 P nickel could still be waiting to be discovered. That possibility is what drives collectors to continue searching year after year. And remember, before this story is over, we'll also be exploring two more dates that have generated incredible attention among collectors. So keep those years in mind, because the surprises are only beginning. One of the reasons collectors are drawn to the 1989 P nickel is its connection to modern circulation coinage. Unlike ancient gold coins locked away in museums, these nickels were intended for everyday use. That means anyone could theoretically find one. The dream of discovering a valuable coin in pocket change is one of the most powerful motivations in numismatics. It transforms an ordinary trip to the grocery store into a treasure hunt. Every handful of change becomes a potential opportunity. Stories circulate throughout the collecting community about individuals who discovered rare varieties while sorting through rolls obtained from local banks. Others found unusual examples inside inherited collections that had remained untouched for decades. Whether every story is completely accurate hardly matters, because they fuel the imagination and keep the hunt alive. The 1989p nickel occupies a unique place in these conversations because it represents the idea that modern coins can still contain secrets. Collectors often use magnification to inspect the date, lettering, and design elements. Under careful examination, subtle differences may become visible. A coin that appeared completely ordinary moments earlier suddenly reveals unusual characteristics. That transformation from common change to potential rarity is one of the most thrilling experiences a collector can have. Auction houses have long understood the power of rarity and mystery. Whenever a coin appears with extraordinary preservation, unusual striking characteristics, or a highly desirable variety, bidding can become intensely competitive. Wealthy collectors compete for ownership. Prices climb higher and higher. Headlines spread across the hobby. Even people who have never collected coins become fascinated when they hear about seemingly ordinary pocket change commanding astonishing amounts of money. The 1989p nickel benefits from this fascination because it represents the possibility that rarity may still be hiding where few people think to look. Consider the journey of a single nickel struck in Philadelphia in 1989. It may have traveled through countless cities. It may have been exchanged thousands of times. It may have spent years forgotten beneath couch cushions or hidden inside old containers. Throughout that journey, no one may have realized its significance. Yet if it possesses the right characteristics, that humble coin could become the centerpiece of an important collection. That possibility transforms every surviving specimen into a potential mystery waiting to be solved. Collectors often describe the hunt for rare nickels as a blend of history, detective work, and luck. They study minting techniques. They compare examples. They analyze tiny details invisible to the naked eye. Sometimes the smallest feature can make the biggest difference. A subtle doubling effect, an unusual strike pattern, a dramatic die anomaly. These characteristics can elevate an otherwise ordinary coin into something collectors desperately want to own. The 1989p nickel continues to inspire that search because so many examples remain in existence, creating the tantalizing possibility that another remarkable discovery could happen tomorrow. Imagine opening a box of old coins inherited from a family member. Most pieces seem ordinary at first. Then you notice a 1989p nickel. Curiosity leads you to examine it more closely. The details appear unusual. You compare it against known examples. Suddenly you realize you may be holding something special. Moments like these fuel countless collecting stories and explain why people continue searching through old coins despite the odds. The dream is not merely about money. It is about discovery. It is about finding something overlooked by everyone else. Yet the financial potential certainly adds excitement. When collectors hear claims of values reaching extraordinary levels, interest naturally explodes. People begin checking jars, coin albums, and forgotten collections. The search becomes contagious. Friends tell friends. Families search together. Entire communities become fascinated by the possibility of hidden treasure. The 1989p nickel embodies that spirit perfectly. What makes the story even more intriguing is that many valuable coins spent years unnoticed before gaining recognition. Some were dismissed as ordinary. Others were stored away without proper examination. Only later did experts identify the characteristics that made them special. That historical pattern encourages collectors to remain vigilant. A coin ignored today could become tomorrow's celebrated rarity. As the hunt continues, thousands of enthusiasts keep searching, hoping to uncover the next remarkable example. And while the 1989p nickel already delivers an incredible story of possibility, mystery, and fortune, don't forget that two more fascinating nickels are waiting ahead in this journey. One comes from a year that collectors constantly discuss when talking about elusive modern rarities, and another has generated astonishing attention because of features that few people would ever expect to find on an ordinary 5-cent coin. Those stories are coming next. And if you thought the mystery surrounding the 1989 p nickel was unbelievable, the next coin is even more surprising. Next, 1986 p 5-cent coin. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over, a coin that spent decades hiding among ordinary pocket change while carrying a story few people ever noticed. The 1986 p Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that has sparked endless discussions among collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people who suddenly realized that a seemingly common 5-cent piece could be worth an extraordinary fortune under the right circumstances. Some remarkable examples have been associated with values reaching an astonishing $88 million, a figure so unbelievable that many people immediately begin checking their own collections. Yet the real story behind this coin is even more fascinating than the number itself, because it reveals how rarity, condition, history, and mystery can combine to transform an everyday nickel into one of the most sought-after modern coins imaginable. The year 1986 was an interesting period in American coin production. The Philadelphia Mint was striking enormous quantities of coins to meet circulation demand across the country. Millions of Jefferson nickels rolled off production lines and entered commerce, destined to pass through cash registers, vending machines, restaurants, gas stations, and countless other places. To the average person, these coins were simply money. Nobody stopped to admire them. Nobody imagined that certain examples would one day become the focus of intense collector interest. Yet that is exactly what happened. As years passed and collectors examined surviving specimens more carefully, stories began emerging about unusual examples displaying striking characteristics that separated them from ordinary nickels. Some enthusiasts searched for dramatic die varieties. Others focused on exceptional strike quality. Still others hunted for rare production anomalies that may have escaped detection when the coins first entered circulation. The result was a growing fascination with the 1986 p nickel and the possibility that remarkable treasures might still be hiding in plain sight. One of the most exciting aspects of this coin is the fact that it originated as an everyday circulation issue. Unlike rare gold coins locked away in private vaults, these nickels were distributed widely throughout the United States. That means they could have ended up almost anywhere. They might have been stored in old coffee cans, forgotten inside dresser drawers, tucked away in piggy banks, or passed down through family collections. Every surviving example carries its own journey through history. Imagine a single 1986 p nickel leaving the mint and beginning a decades-long adventure. It may have traveled across multiple states. It may have changed hands thousands of times. It may have purchased snacks, gasoline, newspapers, or bus rides. Through all those transactions, nobody suspected that one day collectors would examine coins from this year with such intense interest. That possibility gives the 1986 p nickel an almost legendary quality among treasure hunters. They know that remarkable discoveries often emerge from the most ordinary places. Some of the most exciting coin finds in history began when someone decided to inspect an old collection more carefully. Others occurred when a collector opened a roll of coins from a local bank and noticed something unusual. The lesson is always the same. Never underestimate ordinary-looking change. The fascination surrounding the 1986 p nickel has only grown as more people learn about the importance of condition in modern coin collecting. A coin preserved in extraordinary condition can attract tremendous attention. Tiny details that would normally wear away through circulation remain sharp and visible. Luster shines across the surface. Design elements appear crisp and vibrant. Collectors compete fiercely for examples that have survived in such remarkable state because they represent a tiny fraction of the original mintage. This pursuit of perfection helps explain why some coins achieve extraordinary valuations. When rarity combines with exceptional preservation, demand can become intense. Yet condition is only part of the story. Error coins and unusual varieties introduce another layer of excitement. Collectors frequently examine dates, lettering, and design details, searching for signs of doubling, die cracks, misalignments, or other unusual characteristics. Even a subtle variation can dramatically increase interest if it proves scarce enough. The possibility that undiscovered varieties may still exist keeps the hunt alive. Every 1986p nickel becomes a puzzle waiting to be solved. Somewhere, perhaps in a forgotten container of old change, another remarkable example may still be hiding. That thought alone inspires countless collectors to continue searching. While discussing the 1986p nickel, it is impossible to ignore the emotional side of coin collecting. Many people begin collecting because of family traditions. A grandparent shares an old coin album. A parent teaches a child how to inspect dates and mint marks. What starts as a simple hobby often becomes a lifelong passion. The search for coins like the 1986p nickel brings generations together. Families gather around tables, sorting through jars of coins. Children learn history through tangible objects they can hold in their hands. Every discovery feels like uncovering a small piece of the past. This emotional connection adds depth to the pursuit and explains why collectors remain captivated even when they do not find valuable specimens. The journey itself becomes rewarding. Still, the possibility of finding something extraordinary never disappears. Imagine the excitement of noticing an unusual 1986p nickel among hundreds of ordinary coins. You examine it more closely. The strike appears sharper than expected. Certain details seem different. Research leads you deeper into the coin's history. Suddenly, what began as casual curiosity turns into a thrilling investigation. Experiences like these keep the hobby vibrant year after year. Auction stories further fuel the fascination. Whenever rare coins appear before determined bidders, excitement spreads throughout the collecting community. Prices climb. Records are discussed. News travels quickly. Even people who have never collected coins become intrigued by tales of ordinary pocket change commanding extraordinary sums. The 1986p nickel benefits from this phenomenon because it symbolizes the dream that hidden treasure might still exist within everyday circulation coins. That dream has inspired countless searches through old collections and forgotten storage boxes. Many collectors believe that important discoveries remain out there waiting to be found. As decades pass, coins are lost, damaged, spent, and forgotten, reducing the number of desirable examples available to collectors. Scarcity can increase naturally over time. A coin once considered common may become much harder to locate in premium condition years later. This evolving landscape keeps the market dynamic and ensures that collector interest never completely fades. The 1986p nickel stands as a perfect example of how an ordinary circulation issue can develop an extraordinary reputation. And while this coin already carries enough mystery to keep collectors searching for years, there is still one more coin ahead in our journey, a coin that many enthusiasts consider the ultimate surprise in this remarkable lineup. Throughout this story, you've heard about fortunes hidden in plain sight, nickels overlooked by millions of people, and the incredible possibilities that can emerge from everyday pocket change. But the final coin takes that sense of mystery to another level entirely. Its story has fascinated collectors, inspired treasure hunts, and created speculation unlike almost anything we've discussed so far. So before you check your coin jars and old collections, remember that the most shocking chapter is still ahead. And if you thought the 1986p nickel was unbelievable, the next coin is even more astonishing.